You know, one of the scariest things, Roy, in life is not necessarily about being broke.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it feels like being broke is like the grandfather of
Yeah.
scary, but that's not the scariest thing right now. The scariest thing in life, especially as humans that are earning and are living in this world, is earning a lot of money, and still you're still one emergency away from a financial pressure.
Mm.
Just think about it. One major crisis and everything is wiped out.
Gosh.
Like
Mm.
back to zero. In fact, back to -1. Because at that point, you probably
Yeah.
don't even have any and probably
Yeah.
are looking for. So you're now in debt. You're now, that is scary. And that's the bane of our conversation today. Income is not necessarily wealth.
Exactly.
Income alone is not necessarily wealth, right? And this is what wealthy people understand that the rest other people do not. And of course, clearly, because we're not taught these things in
Exactly.
school, we're just taught
Exactly.
to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and pay your bills.
Mm. Some people think that most people actually think that wealth or success is just on the outside. I can really relate to this because God bless his soul. May he rest in peace. My dad is someone who I saw this with.
Okay.
The big income, the big cars, the big lifestyle. But something once happened with the bank then he was working with. I won't mention the name for just the bank folded up, and when income stopped after 90 days, you really wouldn't believe it was the same person really had the income coming in, right? It just looks as though everything fell apart. Now, the question we would ask you right now is, if you are to experience such a thing and your income stops now, after 90 days, will everything fall apart?
Kai.
That's the question you have to
That,
answer.
that's a difficult question. That's a scary question to ask,
Yeah.
And that should actually scare you. It's one of the things that we should have at the top of
Yeah.
our minds every day, even as we go about our daily
Exactly.
activities, even as we and it's okay not to be at that point right now, but it's not okay not to think about
Exactly.
it,
Not have it
not to
there.
have it at the back of your mind, because it just means that money is coming in, but wealth is not being built. And money and wealth, income and wealth are not the same thing, right? Because there are a lot of high income earners, right, that are not actually financially secure.
Yeah.
So let us talk about financial security for a moment. So what does financial security really entail, right? I mean, if you hit a financial curve, a financial roadblock, or whichever English you
You
want to
want to
sugarcoat it with,
curve.
you know,
Just a curveball.
it's just a combo, right? Can you maintain your lifestyle for the next 6 months comfortably?
Mm.
And we're saying 6 months just to be modest. We're hoping that okay, in 6 months you'd have gotten back to your feet, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
So if there's a financial roadblock, financial situation,
Exactly.
in the next 6 months. So financial security is simply being able to sustain your lifestyle, your bills, your everything, even if the active income stops.
Yeah.
Right? And so again, I ask, are you really, really financially secure? Or are you just simply a highly paid worker? Right? Because it doesn't even matter if you're a salary earner or you're a business owner. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So long as if that cash flow, that active cash flow that is exchanged with your time, energy, and your resources, your physical,
Exactly.
you spend your time to get
Yeah.
stops right now, right? After 6 months, can you, like, within the next 6 months, can you still sustain your lifestyle? And that's the difference between a highly paid and income earner and a wealthy person.
Exactly. Talking about sweat and all of that, I'm just going to read it the way I put it down here,
Yeah.
because if your entire life depends on constant sweat, movement, stress, meetings, calls, and daily hustle, now listen to this, then your income owns you.
Okay.
This one hit me real hard. It hit me real hard. It means I don't own or you don't own freedom yet. Most people think I'm earning well, I'm fine, everything's gonna be all right, the money's coming, we chilling, we balling. I've always thought like that. Like I said, I don't think like this because thank God for education, but I
Yeah.
saw my parents, my own dad's life, and I told myself I wouldn't live like this.
Exactly.
Every single day, I ensure I'm building wealth. I'm not just making money through relationships, through study, through
Exactly.
investments and things like that. Because income alone, I know you should know too, is not security. Income can disappear. It can you that if like you said, if it stops now,
No.
if it stop, can I leave? Will I go back to the village? will I leave Abuja? Right? If I stop working now, will I say, oh, Mr. Jeff, it's been good knowing you. Over here we come. You understand? Because jobs disappear, right? Businesses can slow down. Now, this is not just for those who have a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Businesses too can slow down. I mean, a health issue can happen when
Yes.
you're running a business. And when that happens, Brother Bodunde, really, what remains?
What remains?
What remains?
Okay. That's something to think about.
Yeah.
Now, picture this, think about this. I mean, this is not a very fantastic analogy, but imagine fetching water for a living.
Yeah.
And then you use buckets in fetching
Yeah.
it. So every day you go down, you fetch the water, you come up, then you have water. You go down again, you fetch the water, you come up, you now have water. You do this all the time. And then the moment you stop carrying the buckets, maybe because of, I don't know, maybe health issue, or
Yeah.
you don't have the time,
Yeah.
or something happened and you were not able to carry the bucket again, the water stops. Right? Now, imagine that this same person, whilst earning that money he was earning initially, was using part of the money to build a borehole.
Yeah.
Of course, initially you didn't have the money to build a borehole, but as you started, fetching the water with the buckets, just after you started earning some, you kept a part of the income to start building a borehole.
Yeah.
So that when you cannot carry the buckets again, the water just simply keeps coming up. You just simply turn on a switch right beside your bed, you turn this other side and sleep, and then the water just keeps coming.
It just pumps. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, that's a typical analogy of earning by effort and literally actually building wealth. And the truth is, many of us were not really born into wealth, right? And
Yeah.
that's okay. I mean, it's okay. And that's why we work. That's why we earn money. That's why we have financial education like we're having right now, right? Because, yes, if you're born into wealth, beautiful. And the beauty about being born into wealth is that it's not just about the money you earn or you get as a result of inheritance.
Yes.
It's also about the psychology and money sense you get to be had. In fact, for me, the biggest inheritance is not necessarily the physical resources, it's the lifestyle, the financial intelligence, the education,
the
mindset that you have literally seen all your life, especially for parents that literally or actually carry their children along, right? I'm not talking about the ones that tell them, and I think that thing is phasing out. It's back in the time that you see them examples of very, very wealthy people, that after they die, everything is wiped out.
Exactly. Children don't know anything about their business.
Yeah, but you see this, these days, they are linked code, Dagote, and the rest. They carry their children along.
It's like,
it seems like they're infusing them or immersing them into, and so sometimes I really just, admire the fact that they do that.
It's
now,
beautiful.
for very, very beautiful, so it's not necessarily just the money you're handing over to them. It's actually also the meetings you take.
Exactly.
It's the conversations you have, right? Imagine a 3-year-old hearing you talk about building asset, buying that asset, cash flow, at that age, and he grows up like that.
Exactly.
That's the main inheritance to me, and for a lot of us, we're not in that position, but we're privileged enough, to not be wiped out before we started hearing about it. You're not yet in the village.
Yeah.
So I think it's something we should start looking into. So the more we expend energy to earn income, we should also set aside to start building assets. And of course, we'll talk about what assets are in a moment. However, I think one of the major assets that we can start building on time is intellectual assets.
Yes.
all your experience, all your
Yes.
experience, all your
Yes.
mistakes. If you have gone from point A to point B, that
Yes.
in itself is asset. I know a lot of us
Yes.
don't learn to convert that to actual cash flow, but so that I'm saying this so that when we start talking about asset right now, you won't be thinking is one I have to have 10
Exactly,
billion.
because a lot of people hear asset and they
Asset,
are
their head are
thinking
going big.
billions and
The asset, they just think about one big house or one big plaza
exactly.
in Usetu,
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, actually, this I feel like we should do a topic on this later. This handing down values to the next
Values,
generation
yeah.
because
Very
we'll do
important.
something on that. Now back to assets. Assets are things that continue producing value after initial effort is done. I'll say that again. Assets is anything that continues to produce value, keep bringing returns in money, in relationships, all around after an initial effort is done. It's like planting a tree once. The tree grows and keeps bearing fruit.
Exactly.
You don't have to plant it again and again. So that's basically the idea of asset. And like you said, it's not just a house, even though yes, we're a real estate company. So don't just please right now set aside the mindset that it has to be only real estate. No. Real estate is one of it, rental properties, land in developing locations, businesses, investments, but even as simple as like I'm currently writing the book. Okay, I've been writing the book, right? My boss he has books, he has two books already. These are things that will continually bring up value. And for the generation that we are in, let's say perhaps you're a young person watching this, your YouTube channel you're building would one day become monetized. And every video that watch over monthly, you'll be making income.
Exactly.
Things like that. It's one effort you put in that continues to bring money even when you're sleeping. But sadly, many people could think it's like he said, has to be something big, one house. If I can just build one 5-story building,
I'm telling you,
in Guarimpa, I'm done, I'm settled.
or if I can own Alaba International Market.
You understand? But it's more than that. It's more than that. So every new level of income that you come into should always have something where your mind say, okay, for every level I grow towards, something must be set aside to create or plant something that will continually bring in value for me. So it's important that you know that.
Yes, and that's why someone that can earn millions monthly every month and yet is panicky over one serious setback. Like you can earn seriously every month, and one setback can just finish you, and that's because the income is high, but the foundation is weak. And by foundation, I mean the knowledge, the information, because it's not enough to just have a lot of money and just keep some aside. You know how they say the only thing some of us we learned growing up was save for rainy day. They did not teach us to save for investment, save deliberately to convert that money into to make that money start giving birth to other money, And so wealth is not about looking rich, actually. One of the biggest shockers I got was, I think 2021, I just came into real estate at the time, and there was a property I went to sell. And right there, one guy walked in with slippers and his shorts with this touchlight phone. And there, long story short, there and then, my friend, he transferred for 29 plots of land. Right there. Not payment plan, in cash. And he did it in such a way that he was not asking. So he started with 5 plots. So, he was speaking Igbo, and he said, if he buys these 5 plots now, will he get any discount? Will he get gifts? The lady saying, if you do 10, okay, they could consider it. Okay, say, so if I do 10 now, what will you give me? The lady was, that's how he was just saying it very casually. If I do 10 now, what will you give me? The lady was saying, okay, so if I do 15, everybody now was not, me
thinking
at that point, he was now
catching
joking,
cruise.
catching cruise. This how this guy went on 9 plots.
Wow.
And the reason he didn't do 30 was because the incentive for 20 was like the incentive for 25, yes, between 20 and 25 was different from 25 and 30, but from 30 upwards was the same thing as 25.
Okay.
So Kuku just did 29.
Okay.
So because what's the need? Just say, okay, let him just do 29 since he will not give me anything for 30.
Extra for 30.
He just say, okay, remove one. Point is, wealth sometimes does not look rich. One of the in 2020, 2023, 2024 with from one of my mentors. He says it a lot. He says, Jeff, don't strive to look rich, be rich. Because there's a difference between trying to look rich and actually be rich. Because you can actually be rich and still look rich. But looking rich is not the same thing as being rich, right? And these are the conversations we're actually having today, because wealth is literally about building systems that keep paying you. That is it. And this is why the argument about, I think we'll do a conversation one day around this rental income thing. The argument about rental income, I think people get it wrong. A lot of people say things like, oh no, I cannot build a rental building because, well, how will I recover my money? I think that's the wrong mindset. It's not about recovering your money per se. It's about cash flow. It's about leveraging your sweat income right now to produce cash flow for the rest of your life and your children's life. It's not about, oh, I put in 100 million, I should get this 100 million in 2 years. No, it's about this 100 million is the tree you're planting. Is the tree you're planted, right? And that tree will be there, right? Meanwhile, this tree will keep bearing fruit, over and over again. That's the idea, and these are the conversations we need to have, around earning money and actually building wealth, so that your life is no longer powered by your time and energy after a period of time. Exactly. So it's no longer because you wake up every morning then you earn. Sometimes you can literally not wake up. Like, I don't mean you're dead. Like, I understand. Like you decide not to get out of bed, and you're okay knowing that for the next 3 months, say, if I decide to go on vacation. I remember when Hotel Dollar said, I think he's the 5th richest man right now in Nigeria, and he said something about going for vacation for 3 months. That he just wants to shut down for 3 months. And the internet went like, we have no idea that there's a difference between plenty money and wealth.
Because the truth is, if you have to work every day, if I have to work every day to maintain my life, honestly, I still haven't built wealth.
Yes.
All I've built is a demanding lifestyle, not financial freedom, just like you said. There's a difference between plenty money and wealth.
I'm telling you.
Plenty money can finish, but wealth,
I'm telling you.
It doesn't end. For those who don't understand, it means like stream that doesn't run dry.
Yes.
Money is supposed to buy you things money is supposed to buy things and bring more money, right? That's how I put it down here. And that is how wealthy people think. They don't just think of the money in itself, but what more can money bring that will make me not work for more money?
Exactly.
That's exactly the mindset. So don't just focus on making money. That's the whole idea of it. Don't just focus on making money, and not thinking. I think the best analogy we've come up with so far is the tree. Planting it, and then knowing that you're not going to just plant it and let it grow. Let it continue bringing in income again and again and again. Like we said, because even the good book says is money has wings, it can disappear. It can disappear because money will always, but then that tree that you plant, that asset that you have decided to own will always keep bringing in something,
True.
Because that is what real wealth is. Having something, a strong asset. It could be one, it could be anything, but let it just keep bringing in something over and over and over.
And the earlier we actually understand this thing, the faster you stop, looking rich and actually become wealthy. Because if you want to build, income producing assets, which are the focus of that's the base level of being well. In fact, in summary, wealth is built when your income keeps producing more income.
Exactly.
Right? The primary goal of money, of course, money has, in fact, at the base of the laws of finances, as much as money comes in to sort our basic needs, I mean, to keep us alive, but the core use of especially earned income is to produce more income, right? Think about it like capital. So you're building capital so that the capital can later fund your lifestyle. So that you don't just work all the days of your life and without a time where you can actually relax and work for the sake of working, not necessarily because
Exactly.
that work is going
Exactly.
to fund your life, or if you stop the work, your life is done.
You're working because of value.
Of
Value
you
work. Work is
value
the value
what
you
you
have.
do.
Yes.
Exactly. It's not necessarily because if I don't do this one, that's why a lot of people are bitter. A lot of people are bitter. You go to some workplaces and they cannot answer you well. They tell you things like they're just sad, right?
Yeah.
And my mom used to say, hope, hunger that has hope doesn't kill. Is the one that don't have hope that kills. So sometimes when I see those sad people in workplaces, I just feel like they don't have hope. You know how you feel like, this work, I'm just doing it because I need to eat and feed my family. I don't have hope for tomorrow. And I would sometimes I would want to just share with them that no, it's not about what you earn right now. It's about you intentionally leveraging what you earn to build a better life for yourself. So you see, there's hope now. It may not be now, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be 5 years time, but you are working towards it, and one day it just clicks for you. And the beauty is that in our generation right now, we have multiple ways to start investing time small. There are literal apps where you can buy even stocks for as low as 10K, 15K, 20K.
Yes.
And that is like practice. Start from there, practice there, and then begin to, build and grow small. So if you want us to, help you structure and design your income producing assets, especially when it comes to real estate investment in the city of Abuja, you want to reach out to the numbers showing on your screen today. I do hope you learned something from this. I hope you learned something. At the core of everything, all the conversation we said today, we said that you earn big income, you earn good income, congratulations, but it doesn't stop there. Part of your income is supposed to be geared towards building financial independence or financial stability as you go along.
Yeah.
All right. So till we come your way again, enjoy a fantastic day. Remember, like, comment, and share. If you found value with this video, you can share with other people too, so that you can learn a thing or two, just like you have done. We'd like to hear feedback from you as well. Till we come your way again, enjoy a fantastic day. Bye.